This podcast discusses video games, modern culture, and technology, and these podcasters are big fat potty mouths. If you're younger than 18 or are easily offended, please stop this podcast now. Oh, and your mom says to take out the trash and do your homework.
Can you hear me now?
No, we're not starting yet.
No?
No, we're not starting yet. Hold on. Okay, now. Go.
Go. Gadget Podcast. Hello, everybody. You are tuned in to the GameHounds. I don't know what episode this is. This is
240.
Just the PlayStation episode. That's all you need to know.
Well,
we are
yeah.
recording on November 20th of 2013. I am Holy Goalie, joined by my partners in crime, Edie Sellers and Nikki Nicole. And we're not going to get into introductions. We're not going to ask how anybody's doing or anything. Let's just get right into the PlayStation 4. What do you say, guys?
Okay. PlayStation 4.
Okay. After all that, you're just like, okay.
Yeah, just okay.
That's it?
Yeah.
Are you Nick today? Are you channeling your inner Nick?
Apparently.
I'm spreading.
Dude, I've been on fire to talk about this for like 4 days, and I get, okay.
If we have to.
Yeah,
I
if we
suppose I could
must.
think of something.
Yeah, sort of.
Wow. Well, you guys want to talk about the Wii U or something then?
Oh, yeah, the Wii U. Oh, it's so awesome.
No, I do not want to talk about the Wii U. I do want to talk about PlayStation 4.
Xbox Live Gold games that are coming out this week for free.
What are they?
The best of 2006.
What do you happen to know? Just out of curiosity.
I don't know what it's. All right. Anyway, so here's my idea for the show. Okay, the three of us here on the GameHounds all got PS4s. Okay, so what I thought would be good, because we're hearing all the stories, you're following Twitter and Facebook and this and that and the other thing. I thought it would be great if we first started off that all three of us told you our buying experience with the Xbox. I mean, with the PlayStation 4, so the new gen. Yeah, so this is a buying experience with the PS4, and then our setup experiences with the PS4, and then we'll get into what we played and how we played in the console in general. What do you think?
That sounds like a good idea.
All right,
Well,
I'll
you start.
I'll start just to kind of show us what we're looking to do. Okay, I pre-ordered back, I believe, in June through Best Buy, because at the time I think we were recording the show, and you guys said, "Well, Amazon sold out, and this guy sold out. Best Buy is the only one still doing pre-orders." So I pre-ordered through Best Buy. I originally set up to pick up, and then I was like, I'm in my 40s. I'm not going to stand in line at midnight, and fight the crowd. So I changed it to ship to me. I didn't hear anything for the longest time. And then last week, the week of the console release, they were saying how Amazon was shipping on Wednesday and Target was shipping on Wednesday, and everything was quiet with Best Buy. And I called Best Buy, and they didn't have any answers. And I'm reading on forums how they're saying it's not shipping until launch day, and it could be 3 to 4 to 5 days before you get it. So I'm panicking now, because not that I need it on launch day, but I'm excited like you guys. And if I could have picked it up, then why not? Lo and behold, I get up Thursday morning, and I get an email that Best Buy had charged my credit card in the middle of the night. So that means the order's being processed. But that's still Thursday. So, great. Thursday supper time is when I get the email that says they are shipping with overnight delivery expected for Friday. So, whew! So Thursday night, a big sigh of relief. And Best Buy did come through. The big brown truck showed up about 1:30 Boston time with the PS4. So Best Buy, they kept it really quiet. They kept people in the dark, people speculating, people sweating it out, but they were getting home delivery in the pre-order. But it did arrive on that Friday, we'll say, in perfect timing too, because I got out of work at about 1:30, and that's when the truck showed up. So that's how Goalie got his PS4. Mm-hmm. Nick, what did you do?
I ordered it from Amazon. I got in real quick on that ground floor. And for a while, I was worried that it wasn't going to show up because I kept looking at my order status, and it kept saying not shipped. But that was really unwarranted because it showed shipped on like Thursday, and then it arrived Friday. And for me, I don't know exactly when it arrived Friday, but I was at work, so I just came home to a giant brown box in the hallway. So that was pretty great.
Nice.
Yeah.
I ordered mine through Best Buy, but I did do the pickup. And I was like you, I didn't hear anything for a very long time. I guess it was on Tuesday or Wednesday, the week of release. They posted on their website an FAQ for pickup of the PlayStation 4 release, and kind of read through that and found out that according to the FAQ, you didn't have to pick it up on the day of, at the midnight. You could go and pick it up midnight launch if you wanted to, but if you didn't want to, you could come in later that day and also pick it up anytime, and they would hold it for 8 days at the store with your name on it. So just to be sure, I called my local Best Buy, the one I was planning on picking it up from, and talked to a person there and said, look, here's my deal. I don't know that I want to be there at midnight to pick it up, but if I don't pick it up at midnight, I don't want to come in at 10 o'clock the next morning and decide, oh crap, I want to pick up my PlayStation now. I'm happy to say, oh, well, we had your PlayStation, but there were people in line. So we actually only got 50% of the shipment we were supposed to get. We'll get the rest of the shipment tomorrow. Why don't you come back then? Didn't want to, when I came in, I wanted it to be there. And she flat out said, we have all of the PlayStations that were pre-ordered for pickup at our store. Every single one of them has the name of the person who bought it on the PlayStation. So your PlayStation is your PlayStation, and it is here, and we will hold it. So you can pick it up anytime. That being said, I drove by on Thursday night, the Best Buy, just to see what the lines were like. And she said there was going to be two lines. There was going to be I want to buy it right now, and there's people I've pre-ordered. There's going to be two separate lines. So I went by and I looked to see the lines, and I saw a fairly large line. It wasn't huge. I'd say it probably had 50 people in it, and this was about 9 o'clock at night. And then I saw the other line, and it had like 10 people in it. And I'm like, all right, the 10 made sure that the short line was for the pre-orders. I'm like, great. You know what? I'll just pick it up tonight. So we ran over to pick it up. By the time we got there at about 11:30, and everybody was already in the store. So they actually let people into the store early. You couldn't actually pick it up. It was so few people, both for the pre-order line and for the buy it now line, that they could actually put them inside the building. So they put everybody in the building, let everybody line up, and we had to kind of go through this machinations of like show my pre-order, and then I had to go to this gauntlet of tables that had all of the gear and accessories that we could add on. They tried to upsell me for this. Oh, I forgot what it's called. I want to say like Awesome Bundle. It wasn't Awesome. It was Epic Bundle or something like that. And it was $800. It was the PlayStation 4 plus two games. I think it was an additional 2 games. Plus, you'd get 20% off of all games that you buy at Best Buy for the next 2 years or something like that. Plus, an extra 10% off of any accessories that you bought at the store right then. Plus, what else was it? Oh, extended warranties on the PlayStation 4 that now cover accidental damage as well. And that was for 3 years, and all, extended warranties on any accessories that you buy today. And it was, so the $800 was including the cost of the PlayStation. Well, I'd already prepaid the whole thing, so I'd already paid all $400 and change for it. So it was only another $400, but it was still like not really quite interested in that.
And didn't you already have games? Didn't you already buy?
And I already bought 3 games. And there's only one other game that I kind of wanted. So it was, I decided not to get it. And I didn't buy any accessories. And I didn't have to run a gauntlet of no thank you, no thank you, no thank you. They weren't very hard sell, which was cool. But I heard other places they were very hard sell. Like, you want this. You need this camera. You need this the headset. Have you seen the headset? The headset's not that great. You want to get a new headset. And by the way, you want to get this, and when you get this. Anyway, went and stood in line at midnight on the button. The pre-order line started to move, and they just handed them out. Blam, 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 as fast as they could.
All right, you get a PlayStation. You get a PlayStation.
That's right.
Like that?
Yeah, you went through, when you went through the early line, you had a folder. The folder had a number for you. You walked up to the counter, you showed them your pre-order stuff. They took the sticky of your number, put your number on your console with your name on it so they could pick it up very quickly. And then at midnight, they just said, number 12, somebody walked up, number 12. Here's number 12. Picked up number 26. Here's number 26. Picked up number 30. Here's number 30. So they could get those things out the door very quickly. And it was really efficient. Let's see, the line started moving at midnight on the button. I was out of the store at 12:05 and at home at 12:20 and had my PlayStation in hand. People were in the parking lot. There were lots of cops, obviously, thank God, to protect people walking out with the PlayStations. But there was also a lot of people in the parking lot that were trying to buy it and asking questions. And they're like, you have to update? You have to update? You don't even work out of the box? I'm like, you have to update all consoles, idiot.
Even games.
You have to update a game. What the hell?
Yeah.
It's like, I just was rolling my eyes at like some of the jackassery things that were being said. But yeah, got it in, got it home. It was awesome. The pickup experience was really good. It's clear that the retailers have now gotten very good at doing these midnight releases of either games or consoles or technology, iPads, that kind of stuff. So I was real happy with the experience.
Well, that's good. It's funny that you said that about wondering if they were going to get rid of the PlayStation, because I was listening to a couple other shows, and one guy got a call from GameStop that I guess he pre-ordered through GameStop. I was like, dude, you going to come down and get your PS4? And he's like, it's 2 p.m. I'm still working. Well, we just want to know if you want it. So in other words, they wanted to sell it to somebody,
right?
And because he hadn't picked, so I can see how you'd get nervous like that.
Sure. But according to the Best Buy website says they would hold it for eight days, and if you're not picking your PlayStation 4 up in 8 days, you might be on vacation. Who knows? But anyway, it was easy peasy. Everything pre-ordered. They didn't have an issue with me not having a credit card because I paid for it with PayPal. It was easy.
Well, that's cool. All right, so let's get to unboxing and setting up, and I'll go first again. So mine arrived about 1:30. I don't know how long it was on the truck, so I like to let the electronics sit for a couple hours to get up to room temperature instead of trying to spark them up cold. So I was reading the horror stories about PlayStation Network, how people couldn't connect and issues. And so I was like, I figured the longer I waited, the better off I would be to set this up. Mm-hmm. So I waited till probably pretty close to 4 o'clock my time before I got it going. So I plugged it in. I went with an Ethernet cable. I took the one out of the Roku, put it in the PlayStation 4. So I had a nice wired connection. I assume it's got Wi-Fi, but I went wired. And then I actually read the directions too. And
wow.
It said turn the PlayStation on first, then plug in the controller. And, I thought the controller had batteries, but it has the built-in battery pack.
Yeah.
Is what it does. So I don't know if that's going to be a good thing or a bad thing. And it's got a standard USB cord, which is really cool, but it's not very long. So I actually had a 6 or an 8 foot USB extension I use when I do the Rackcast, and I plugged that in hoping it would work so I could sit on the couch across the room and have it plugged in to charge. And you're supposed to turn it on first, then plug in the controller, and that pairs it automatically, which it did. The USB cable extension did work, so if anybody's wondering if you can add an extension cable, in my case, it did work. So I turned it on, put in the controller, it synced the controller up. First thing it did is it did look for an update. It did the update pretty painlessly. It rebooted the system. Then it asked me to either create an account or sign in. I signed in. Pretty much no issues for me there. I ran it through a few tests, including downloading some games. I think I downloaded Warframe first. Then I think I installed a game as well. And the setup for me was pretty painless and easy between setting up the controller and getting the update and the whole bit. And the only thing that I had an issue with during the setup was occasionally if you went to the store or if you tried to do something with the PSN network, it would give you a message that says either can't connect or the store is down. But that was up and down all Friday night like that. But for the most part, yeah, the setup, that was my setup, just plugging it in and go. And so for me, yeah, knock on wood, that was good. Nick?
Setting it up, like actually hooking up to my TV, was incredibly easy. And what's really nice is that the PlayStation 3, which is much bigger than the PlayStation 4, is not quite big enough to not fit in the box. So I literally took one console out of the box and put another console into the box, and I still have the PlayStation 4 box sitting in my room. It's just got all the PlayStation 3 stuff in it, the controller, the console, the cords. So that's pretty nice. That was pretty handy. But then trying to update it, I don't know if it was PSN or if it was my internet connection, but it was slow. It was real slow. I updated console, and then I started downloading Resogun and Warframe. And Resogun took several hours, and Warframe, God, at some point it said 99 plus hours. So Warframe, in contrast, I ended up just turning off the PlayStation and completing those downloads the next day. So I only played Resogun on the first day. I suppose I could have put in Assassin's Creed and started playing that, but I kind of wanted to play the downloadable games. But once I actually got it downloaded, which did take a really long time, it seemed to work fine.
Good.
All right, so far, 2 out of 3, no issues.
Yeah, although
Wow.
The UI was kind of weird when I was trying to join Edie's party. There wasn't that join party button.
Yeah.
Or at least not that I quite knew where it was. So it was like, wait, how do I join a party? Am I in this party? Is this a party? Can
yeah, there's
hear
a couple little things I'm figuring out too. It's like, does it download in the update? Is it not? Is it automatic? I mean, am I in the party? Did the message send? So yeah,
also,
it's different.
Part of me kind of likes that, because I kind of like, it's new. It's new when I don't know how to use it, and I kind of like learning how to use it. I mean, that's what makes it feel new, is that I don't instantly know everything.
Yeah, it's almost like going from an iPhone to an Android.
It's like moving house into a new city where you don't really know where you are, but you're having fun kind of discovering.
It's kind of the same. It's not too out of the, I mean, it's got different icons you see to join, and everything you go over, it does pop up and tell you what it does.
Right.
So that's how I'm finding it. But it is fun, learning a new system, and it's not ridiculous. That's the thing, is that sometimes you get a new system and you're like, holy cow, why would you design something that's so far different than everything else?
Right. Or why would you create something that is so convoluted to get into, like the old PlayStation Network interface? Or actually not just the network, but the whole PlayStation interface for the PS3 was like that. Where it's like, you can't get anywhere easily. And you can't figure out intuitively where you want to go to get there.
Although I did have one more issue because either my internet was so slow or PSN was so slow. At one point, I tried to look in the PSN store, and none of the icons loaded.
Yeah, I had.
Yeah, well, that's to be expected.
Yeah.
So at that point, I was like, "Yeah, okay, I'm just gonna give up here and go play some Resogun."
Right.
All right, so Eads.
I brought it home. Like I said, I was home by 12:20 in the morning. So I was one of the first people, I'd like to think one of the first people on the West Coast to get it and have it home. So I was thinking about going to sleep, but I realized, if I was the opposite of you, Goalie. You said I want to wait as long as possible. I said, I have got to load this now, because in 30 minutes, that whole server, all of the PSN servers are going to get hammered. So I am going to, the more I can get done right now, the better. So I quickly plugged it all in, got it all working. It was very easy. I just unplugged the PlayStation 3 and just replugged the PlayStation 4 into the slots for all of everything except the power cord. Thank God the power cord has changed. Now there's no big block. the wart.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's just a cord, which is great. The power supply, everything is all inside, which is great. But got it all in, and immediately, like you said, had to plug in the controller in order to get it to sync. Had no issue with that. Went right on PlayStation Network. Had no problem with that. Entered in my codes, got everything running and working, and then immediately started downloading. Had no problem with the download, the update. No problem whatsoever. Because, like I said, I hit that as soon as I could. I was considering downloading everything onto a USB stick because they announced a few days before that you could download, and that's so bright of Sony.
I almost did that, but I was like, let me see,
They released the update a few days ahead, and they said that you could download it in advance and put it on a USB stick and upload it through the USB without having to go on the PSN. So, because they were trying to take a lot of the stress off of the servers. They knew the servers were going to get pounded like a $20 hooker. So they were like, all right, let's do this. Let's make it easy. And I debated it, and I thought, nah, let's just do it. So I had no problem. It updated in less than 5 minutes. I was up and running and started immediately downloading. It took about first game that I downloaded was, I think, Contrast, and that was Resogun. Resogun took about 15 minutes, so it was starting to slow down at that point. Contrast was probably 5 minutes after that. So it all loaded very quickly, and I had no problems downloading all the games. Although there were occasional moments that I would try and go onto the PlayStation Store to see what was there, and they would say PlayStation Store is down, which was to be understandable. And I played a little Resogun, not much. I also played around with the Music Unlimited, which was actually really cool. The fact that you could, and that's why I played Resogun, was to show Kevin kind of the functionality of it, is that you can go, and it's a little bit like Pandora. You create a channel. So we created a 9 Inch Nails channel. And then once that was started playing Resogun, and 9 Inch Nails will play for the soundtrack instead of the Resogun music.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so you can just sit there and, I want a John Bon Jovi channel, and you can play John Bon Jovi while you're playing Assassin's Creed, and it will replace the music for Assassin's Creed into the John Bon Jovi channel. It's kind of cool. So yeah, and then I went to sleep, and then the next day when I started playing around with it, everything was already all loaded, all ready to go. All I had to do was install it, which was great. And just started blasting away. Really had no issues at all with the PlayStation Network being up and down.
Yeah, I mean, I had a couple of spotty issues on Friday.
Yeah,
I think was it me and you and I? I think we did a couple of tests with messages and party chat on Friday night.
Right.
It was either Friday afternoon or Friday night. I think I actually did a live Spreaker as I was playing around with it. I don't know if it was Friday night or Saturday. I forget what night it was. I just grabbed the iPhone and just started talking. Just to kind of.
Can I say one of the things I love about it is that you can name your party anything you want, and I have been pushing
Really?
the boundaries of when it says you start a party, it says it usually says Gamer Edie's party. But you can go up into it and erase that and put anything you want. And so I've been pushing the boundaries of propriety just to see if it will let me do it. And it has. You did not know this, but you were in a room at one point, Goalie, that was called Everybody in Here is Masturbating.
I think I saw something about that, but I thought it was just something that you wrote in the party. I didn't know that was the name.
No, that was the name of the party.
Oh, it's a good thing.
I think my very first party was That's How Xbox People Are. And second one was everybody in here was masturbating. And I think the most recent one I've used was okay, who farted? And it's not had any issues with me saying masturbating. Now, I haven't actually put an obscenity in there, but now whenever I try to type something on the keypad, the soft keypad that comes up, if I put in M, it will automatically, the first option will be masturbating.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's very smart. It knows what you've said and it remembers.
Good for you.
Yeah. It knows I like masturbating. So anyway, that's the masturbation party was pretty funny. And actually, the funnier you name it, the more people will just kind of randomly come in going, I saw you at a party and then I saw the name and I had to come in and say hi.
That's funny.
Yep.
Yeah. So we ran it through a few tests, party chat, playing games, game invites. It's different than, like Nick said, it's different than the Xbox. So it's there's some investigating, there's some learning curve, but I find so far I pretty much found everything.
Yeah, the clunkiest thing I think is the party, as Nick said, that we're kind of used to the way parties work, where you see your friends and you invite to a party, and then it will alert you which person has entered the party, and then you just hit the center button and you can see who's in the party, and if somebody hasn't joined the party that you want to join the party, you can send another invite. And it doesn't really have that kind of functionality. I noticed that if I send an invite to Nick and start a party, then if I want to send an invite to Goalie, I've got to go and send him a message, actually write a message, join, ? And then it will invite him to the party. But if I don't, at least I think its communication with you is very subtle. Doesn't always like the Xbox says blink, hi. It's like a big Labrador retriever. Hi. Would you like to join a party? How about now? Would you like to join a party? Hey, somebody invited you to a party. Hey. And this one is like, hello, someone is trying to contact you. That's about all it does.
One of the things that got me is that when you get a trophy, with Xbox, as soon as you get it, you can push that Xbox button, and it takes you to the achievement screen and shows you what you just got.
Right.
But you don't do that with PlayStation. If you hit the PS button, when you get a trophy, it takes you to the home page, and then you have to go to the trophy page to see what the new.
Yes.
Then you have to search for your new trophy, which for minor, but for the achievement whore like myself. Which already I'm becoming a trophy whore.
Yeah.
It's already started. I've started playing Resogun multiple times to try and get the trophies for saving all humans and beating all levels. That was something that was an underappreciated feature of the Xbox 360 was the intuitive button. The intuitive Xbox button, that if something came up on your screen, it would immediately say, oh, well, clearly you want to go there because that's why you're hitting it right now, which was cool. Sometimes it was annoying, but most of the time it was cool. And then you didn't really realize what you had in that until you had PlayStation. And then that's not an intuitive button. So every time you go, you hit that button and it takes you to exactly the same spot. And then you have to go hunting. It shows how smart Microsoft was when designing the 360.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, there's a bunch of features that I kind of miss. Oh, something else that has come to my attention, the headset. That little headset thing, which is,
Wait. So let's turn the corner now.
Okay.
From our buying experience and our setup to now actual hands-on. Okay, so now we're in the third stage, which is the hands-on. So,
grief.
It comes with that little
grief, acceptance, rage, anger. Sorry, it's the steps of what was it? Grief.
Why are you doing this?
I don't know.
Why are you doing this?
I can't help it.
You've really been a dick the entire show.
Have I?
I've just been,
what?
Yeah, from the very beginning.
Really?
Oh, absolutely. Nick, just say yeah.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay. All right, so we're going to transition into phase 3, and that is the hands-on part. So we were talking about, it does come with a little little cheap little earbud and microphone. But boy, it sounds great.
Yeah, it does
really
sound great.
like that microphone. Like I think that's really cool.
Really?
Has someone who has a who was using a wireless 360 headset, which you just put over one ear? I love that it's just a one earbud microphone, and then the microphone kind of hangs. Like I think that's neat. It's not intrusive. Like it just kind of.
You can forget it's on.
I don't want a headphone that like I have to put over my head. I don't want to wear something, and so I like that it's so tiny and small.
See, I'm used to that.
Put an earbud in my ear and be done with it.
See, I don't like the earbud per se because that blocks the game sound coming from the TV. Whereas the Xbox 360 headset kind of rested over the ear and still allowed volume to come in.
I don't like it because it hurts your ear after 4 or 5 hours. At least my ear.
Sitting in the ear does.
I have to switch out ears.
It does, but that leads me to my. Of all the things that this does, and we'll get into the streaming and the speed of it and the downloading and the how it looks, my favorite thing about this was an afterthought. I don't want to say an afterthought, but it's one of the. I read an article that says things you didn't know the PS4 actually did, and one of them was that microphone jack that we're talking about, which is on the controller itself, accepts any headphones, anyone at all. And,
well, no, not entirely everyone. Because like my Turtle Beach didn't work because it's the wrong side
okay.
jack.
Any standard earbuds, any standard headphones. Okay, I'm not talking like Turtle Beach and all those other ones there. But I'm saying if you have headphones that came with your iPhone or your iPod, they work. Okay, what I'm getting at is you can in the settings you can change what audio comes through the controller. Whether it's just chat, whether it's whatever, you can put the game audio coming through the controller. I took my Bose headsets out, my Bose headphones that I go walking with, plugged them in, and I had awesome game sound coming through the controller through my Bose headphones late at night. And that's something that I haven't seen since the Sega Genesis. The Sega Genesis had a headphone jack. So late at night when everybody's sleeping, you could play Sega to the wee hours with the headphones on. And that's something that with the Xbox 360, you needed to get a third party or some other controller to go headphones. This has the headphone jack right on the controller. And you can put in, like I say, anything you have on for a regular headset. The buds that come with the iPhone, cheap little headset you buy here. You can pump the game. And I mute my TV and I'm playing to 1 a.m. That's my favorite thing about it. And then, on top of that, I found a set of headphones that I bought real cheap at some audio store. And it's 2 headbuds, but it had a microphone on it. It was designed for phones. And it was just a 3-ring on the tip there. And I plugged that in. So now I got game audio going through my headphones, chat going through the headphones and the microphone, and it worked flawless. Flawless. Simple. You didn't need any special connections or anything. I just had stuff laying around the house that I could pump game and chat through the headphones. Favorite feature. I can play now all night, and I don't have to worry about waking anybody up.
So when you do that and you have the game and the chat coming through the same headset, like does the game audio? I forget the word for it. Edie knows it. The game audio drops whenever someone speaks.
Oh yeah, What do they call that?
Gating.
Is that it?
Ducking.
Okay, yeah.
No, I think you set the levels when you go into the settings and you go you set the levels.
No. There is when you start a party, you can go into the party, and it will be over on the left hand side, and you can choose if you want ducking or not from the game audio.
I didn't see that. Okay, yeah. You can have ducking. Okay.
Yep.
Okay,
absolutely.
That's cool that you can avoid that because I hate that.
Yeah, me too.
Okay.
Yeah, you can choose whether you want game audio to be over the chat or chat over the game.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. If you look, it'll be over on the left-hand side. Once you're in a party, you can go into that party, and then there's a couple of different choices that you can make in there.
Yeah, that's really cool. So somebody talks, it lowers the game volume down just a little bit.
Right.
Yeah, perfect. Or bumps the audio up. Yeah, but I found it. The volume was fantastic. I actually had to turn the volume down. It was really loud when I was playing the game, which is perfect because there's nothing worse than it's not loud enough. But you can change in the software. You change the volume of the game coming through the headphones. So right now that's my favorite feature. As stupid as that sounds, because I play a lot at night. As you guys probably do too, and just you can't be cranking a subwoofer up at midnight without getting the banging on the floor from upstairs.
Right.
So so now I can do that. Now I can play late at night, and I didn't have to buy anything. I just had standard headphones. The only thing that I may go look for is a really nice set of headphones that does have the mic instead of the little mic on the side, because the Bose don't have that. Mm-hmm. And the little earbuds, they're okay. That have the microphone built in, they're okay, but they're obviously not the best way to do it. Yeah. But I love that simple connection, and even the USB. So everything on that control is kind of a standard connection, which is nice. You don't have to buy anything special.
Right.
So what do you guys? Some of you guys' favorites?
The headset. I'm not. I'm firmly in between camps of Camp Goalie and Camp Nick. I find that headset to be painful sometimes, especially for playing long periods of time, and I'm not crazy about that. But at the same time, I really like the fact that I can forget. If it's not painful, I can forget that headset's in. So it's very comfortable in that way. And I find the sound is excellent. Even in the small headset, it just sounds very natural, really, really good. I expect Xbox One to have the similar sound on it because, of course, they've now integrated the Skype codecs into the Xbox One. So I'm not that surprised, and I don't think that's a huge thing over that's competition. But, I'm going to give them a little bit. I was a little disappointed when I saw that headset come out because I was like, oh, really? Really? That's what you're going to give me? A 40-cent headset?
I did too. I saw that. I was like, oh, you've
got to be kidding. But at the same time, remember, the headset was kind of an afterthought. It wasn't until everybody's like, what? No headset? Fuck you. They said, all right, well, I'm including a headset after all.
No, that was Xbox.
Was it Xbox?
Xbox did that.
Oh, I thought it was PlayStation 4.
Sure Sony was always going to include a headset.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, Xbox added it. I don't know if Sony added it, but I know Xbox did.
Well, either way, it does work surprisingly well. I'm very happy with it. Not exceedingly happy, but happy enough with it. But the thing that I learned about it is that because it is one of those microphones that are in line, in the single ear, kind of like an iPhone headset that comes straight out of the box with a microphone that is in the line of the actual headset that plugs in, it picks up everything. And because it is such a good sounding network now, you can hear entire rooms full of stuff. So you could just very casually just throw your headset down, forget that it's there, that it's on, and hear entire conversations. Used to be nobody even knew I had a cat until PlayStation 4. Now a cat comes up and says meow, and everyone's like, oh, you have a cat? I'm like, wow, you can hear this? Or I'll walk away, like I'll get a telephone call and had something to do with my dad, and it was all medical information, and left my headset down and had the conversation with my mom in the other room. Now I have hardwood floors, so voice sound travels pretty good. But I was in the kitchen and came back and said, by the way, did anybody hear that? And they're like, oh yeah, we could hear that whole conversation. It's like, oh God. So just be aware that when it comes to your privacy, that if you ever get a telephone call or you don't want people to be able to in the party to hear it.
If you're doing Christmas shopping, yeah, my credit card number is.
Right. Or worse yet, if you're doing the Twitch sharing where you're broadcasting and if you don't, or worse yet, if you're planning on recording something and posting it to Twitch, make sure if you're having a conversation that's not to do with the game, you might want to just unplug your headset.
Well, you can also mute the headset. Don't forget.
You can mute it.
It took me a while to figure out. There's a little tiny blue strip on it, and you can actually push that blue strip up, and it moves like maybe a millimeter. So it doesn't really feel like you're switching anything.
And it doesn't go click. Oh, yeah.
So you push it up to mute yourself. and so then you can talk and yak and no one can hear you, and then pull it back down to unmute yourself.
Yeah. So definitely, be aware of that. And as far as my favorite feature, I am addicted to Twitch broadcasting now.
I know. Every time I look, my Twitter feed goes up. Edie's online again. I was watching from the hockey rink. I was at the hockey rink last night, and I saw that you come up, and I was just scorekeeping a game in the booth there, and I pulled it up on my phone. I was watching, and I could actually chat right from the iPhone too.
Right. I was watching you play Battlefield when I was over at my parents' house when you were broadcasting, and it was great because
it is fun. I
can actually get an idea and see how the game looks, see how the game plays. In a lot of ways, it's going to wreck it's making the Let's Play, and it's killing the Let's Play. All the people that have been doing Let's Play YouTube videos, they got some serious competition now.
Now,
really? Because it seems like it still needs the personality. You still need the person talking,
right?
Yeah,
and so if that person isn't good, then the whole stream is kind of bad.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Right.
So. You still need that broadcaster skill.
What I finally get though is, remember back when they were rolling out the Sony PlayStation dashboard and they were showing about, hey, I can't get through this level, and someone sends you a video. I get that now.
Yeah.
So if I'm like, hey Nick, I'm playing Assassin's Creed and I can't figure out how to get from the tree to the cliff, you could go up to that spot, hit record, and show me how to do it, and then send that video over.
Yeah.
Or record a video and send me the link. And I get that now.
Yeah.
So now it's like, geez, I'm having a problem with this. Oh, yeah, well, let me show you how I did it.
Right.
There was one real annoying moment for me. It was after Edie, I said, oh, go get the, in Assassin's Creed, go fight the Royal Navy. And you did, and you got your ass handed to you. And you were complaining about it. And you kept complaining about that. Like, even on Twitch streams, you bad-mouthing me about how you can't do this. So then... I was playing Assassin's Creed and I saw the Royal Navy symbol. I'm like, okay, I'm going to prove Edie wrong. I'm going to go take them on. So I tried it, died in 3 seconds, and then I was like, okay, you know what? I'm going to do this again. And what ended up happening was like this great extended warfare sequence where I was circling around them on an island, destroying smaller ships and putting them between us so that they would hit the other ships instead of me. And I ended up winning, and it was a great fight. And I'm like, okay, I got to share this to Edie and show her that it can be done. But the PlayStation wasn't actually recording anything.
I am having that problem too.
It seemed like it wasn't recording anything for hours, because when I hit the share button, it took me to the share screen, and the screenshot of the most recent video was the screenshot of after that naval battle. But when I went to preview the video, the actual recorded video was from dozens of hours earlier, like from almost the very beginning of the game.
That makes me feel better, because I had exactly the same thing where I did an amazing, oh my God, just the best gameplay that I had done, as far as I decided to go through an area that's completely stealth. And just kicked ass. And I think I think it was with you in the party, or maybe it was Goalie. Somebody in the party said, hey, well, I'd said, oh my God, I wish I could, God, I just so totally kicked ass on that. And somebody, I think it was Hawk actually, who said, well, now you can share that. And I went into the most recent videos, and like you said, you could see, oh, the screensaver is what I just played. But when I went into it, it was something that I had played the night before, like early on, like you said, hours ago. So there had been some kind of lag and loss of the what they quote unquote most recent 15 minutes. It wasn't being actually recorded.
I tried it last night, and it successfully recorded the 15 minutes of Resogun. So,
okay, well,
I don't know. Yeah, maybe it's hit or miss.
Yeah.
But I was just really excited to share that moment, and it didn't work. And
yeah.
I was like, oh, fuck you. Fuck you. Oh, that was grumpy for a while, but
yeah, I imagine.
We'll see what
like
how that turns out.
Yeah.
Because it's great in concept.
Yes.
Yeah, it is, and it'll take time to get up. That's one of the things I wasn't too worried about right away. I was more worried about party chat and
Yeah.
back into the store and playing
Have
games.
you
and
noticed
all
that people that we've been party chatting with, my party chat has not been very active. I'm really surprised that people aren't just starting parties like they did on the Xbox. Everybody's pretty
Well, maybe
solitary.
it's because that interface is kind of weird,
Yeah,
or at least not what we're all used to.
It's
right.
still new. Maybe people are just getting into the games and playing the games. I don't know. It could be anything.
Yeah, I'm really surprised. I will start a party and just have a party, invite somebody and start the party, and then they won't join, and I'll just sit there in a party all night long by myself. Now, that
I
would
invited you to a
never
party and
happen.
You didn't come in, so I don't know if
Really? Maybe
Yeah.
it's because of it's too subtle in its invite. Because
Yeah,
I could easily miss invites. Like I said, it's not.
Well, it says you gotta
Xbox
do
is it's obvious when somebody invites you. It's blink, hey. And
It
this
usually
one
blocks
is
something important too. You're like, get out of the way.
right. And now it's all up in the left hand corner, and it doesn't block anything. But now it's so subtle, I miss it.
Mm.
And it's really hard to send another invite.
Yeah, it's a small learning curve. We're gonna have to get going on that. Trying to think
thing
what
that
other. Go ahead.
I really, really love, and maybe this is a next gen thing, but I love the ability how you could just hit the PlayStation button, go to the home page, and do a whole bunch of stuff. Like you could go to the PlayStation Store, you can, look at other games, you can just like browse the whole dashboard, and then you can immediately go back to your own game. Like it has that kind of multitasking ability.
Right.
You can't just. Oh, it annoyed me so much that, like with the Xbox, you'd hit that Xbox button, but you couldn't do anything. And it's like, I've got to exit the game to do anything. And now you don't have to. And I love that. That is like the thing I'm most excited for.
You can do a
with
lot of
next
things.
gen
You can't do
consoles.
everything because when I tried to actually leave, I had a game playing. I hit the PlayStation button, and I opened up the hockey app to go watch a hockey game. And I was like, oh, that'd be cool if I could switch between the hockey game, and then when they go to commercial, go back to my game. And it didn't. It says the game would close. So there's something. Maybe later on it'll change, but right now you can't do everything.
Yeah, the same thing with editing I don't know if it's posting, but I don't think it's posting, but editing the video that you've recorded and putting it up to Twitch, that requires you to exit the game in order to go into the editing part of it, which I guess I can understand it.
Now, can you save the video and then go back and edit later, or
No,
So in
not
other words,
as far
Nick
as
had
I
that
know.
great battle. Let's say that great
Really?
battle Nick had saved, and he wants to edit it. Is he going to lose that if he goes back to his game? Or,
Yeah.
I don't think so, because
I don't
when
know.
I tried to save, when I shared the Resogun video, or when I hit the share button for the Resogun video, it had like it kind of brought me to the share folder area, and there was a folder of Assassin's Creed, and when I looked in it, that video was still there.
Maybe it actually saves it, but it doesn't actually upload it, and you have to be
No, it doesn't upload it.
right. You have to go upload it after the fact, after
Yeah,
you've ended the game.
But it's just that, like, when you hit the share button, that's essentially saying, these last 15 minutes I want to keep, and that video will stay on your hard drive, I think,
Okay.
until you choose to delete it somehow, some way. I don't know exactly how.
Let's see what
I
else.
was going to say something, but I forgot. Oh, I don't like that you can only post to Facebook, but that was...
What do you mean? You can post to Twitter.
When you... Well, Twitter, fuck Twitter. I don't have a Twitter account.
Yes,
but
you do. You're Thursday
but that-
Nick.
That was also something that they mentioned ahead of time, and they said that posting to YouTube is coming, like in the coming months. And
Yeah,
next year, so.
and it's odd.
So that was something I already knew of.
And this is another kind of oddity that I can't quite figure out is when you go to Twitch and you set up your Twitch account, it says that if you broadcast, you can choose to keep your videos on Twitch, that so you can watch them on demand after you broadcast. And I have clicked that button to do that. However, it is not doing it on the GameHounds Twitch account. By the way, in case anybody's interested, GameHounds Twitch account is twitch.tv/the GameHounds. Don't forget the THE. because clearly somebody has GameHounds.
So very similar to our Facebook.
Very similar. In fact, identical to our Facebook in every way except for the www.
Nice. Now, some of the games that we played, there's not many out right now. Let me give you guys a big hint about Battlefield 4 right now.
Yeah.
First off, I haven't played multiplayer. I've only played a single-player campaign, right? Oh, my. I finally finished it. It is long. It is great. It is a must-play.
Really?
Yeah, I played the Call of Duty Ghosts on the Xbox 360, and I remember last week talking. Yeah, I liked it. It was fun. Oh, my. Battlefield on PS4. Ugh, just do it. It is great. However, it's a Battlefield is having some issues. Okay?
Yeah.
I had to be a good 6 or 7 hours, maybe more into this game. I don't remember. And my save file corrupted, and I lost everything.
Oh, no.
Yep.
Oh, no.
Yep. And I went online, and other people had the same problem, and just because I'm still getting used to the whole options button, and I really wish that the share and the option button were raised a little bit because they are hard to find because they're kind of even with the rest of the controls. So I wish they were just bumped up, raised a little bit. But anyway, so you hit the option button, and I don't know. I think the first time I quit right out of the game. I like to leave a game clean instead of just like quitting in the middle and hoping it saves. So I thought that's what did it. But no, I would hit the options button, go back to the dash, close the application, and still a couple times my save file got corrupted. It happened 3 times, actually.
Wow.
So the first time I went, but the thing was I loved this game so much I didn't mind. But I went back.
Good.
I was playing on normal, so I went back on easy mode just to say, okay, let me get back to where I was. And someone online said you got to start uploading your saves to the cloud. It doesn't do it automatically, or if it does, I don't know when it does it. So I went back and I played a few hours, or maybe an hour. Went back to the dash, quit the game safely, went into my file or my save or whatever that thing is called in the options in the settings, and uploaded the Battlefield save to the cloud. And I kept doing that every hour or so. I would quit the game and then go and upload the file manually. Mm-hmm. And that's how because it crashed another time. I loaded up, says up, your save file's corrupted. So I went to the settings, I went to the cloud, downloaded the cloud save, overwrote the local save, and I was fine. Oh. So I'm hoping it's just a Battlefield thing, and I really wish it would just zip it up there automatically. But 3 or 4 times I had a file that was corrupted. The first time I lost a lot of gameplay. Second time I only lost a little bit. But 3 or 4 times I kept uploading the cloud just to make sure I had something saved. So I almost played the entire game twice because of all the crashes that I had to go back and redo. So the little GameHounds public service announcement for Battlefield 4. Every now and then, just go to the settings and manually upload that file to the cloud. It's only a 19 kilobyte file, so it's really small, and it only takes a second, but it could save you hours and hours of gameplay.
Good to know.
And I thought playing on that controller would be a tougher deal. Like me and Nick were talking before the show about how he still likes the Xbox 360 controller. I do too because I'm used to it, but I'm really not having any problems at all playing with this PlayStation controller. In fact, I realized when I was playing Warframe and also Killzone, they used that little flat touchpad to do certain things, and that's kind of cool. Is using the that touchpad to do different things.
Yeah, so you did play around with the second screen because there's second screen in Assassin's Creed that I haven't played with at all, and I should have, but I haven't. I
haven't yet. No, there was in Warframe. If you in the tutorial, that's as far as I got. Is if you swipe up on that little the little pad. On
you're talking about the touchpad. Okay, I thought you were talking about second screen. Okay.
No, touchpad. On the touchpad on the controller itself. You do like a charge move in Warframe, and then in Killzone, was it Killzone Shadowfall?
Yeah,
that controls the owl.
I fucking hated that game. Oh God, I hated that game.
It's okay.
Warframe?
No, Shadow Killzone.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
It's just okay.
Give me the game then. I'm interested to try it.
It's okay.
I'll trade you
I'm not in
Child
love with it, but I mean, it was. I mean, I'm gonna go back and play it again. It's okay.
Yeah.
But yes, the control of the swiping and the clicking on it, it adds some functionality to the controller. It really does. But the overall control itself feels so good. Your fingers just rest right on those trigger buttons.
Yeah.
It feels so nice.
The controller is near perfect. My issue with the controller, and I don't get me wrong, I love the controller, absolutely adore it. It is the controller that Xbox fans have been waiting for. And I say that because when you switched from the 360 to the PlayStation 3, it was an awkward feel. The old controller just really was not good. Now, when I switched from the PlayStation, from the 360, and as soon as I put that controller into my hand, it felt familiar, it felt comfortable, it felt right. It's immediately accessible. It was a smart move on Sony to make it more like the 360 controller, at least in the way it's your hands sit on it and its feel, because I think that would have been the one thing that would have made Xbox people run screaming from the PlayStation 4 is if that controller was wonky, and it's not. But there is one issue that I have with it. The left, I don't really have it with the problem with the right thumbstick, but the left thumbstick, I thought it was because it was convex instead of concave, but my finger tends to come off of it, especially if I'm playing long periods of time, like in Assassin's Creed, you're running after someone. It will tend to slide. My thumb starts to slide off of the thumbstick itself, and then I have to stop and reposition my thumb, which when you're chasing someone can be the difference of whether you actually manage to chase them properly or not. According to Kropotkin from Super Happy Fun Time Show, it's not because it's concave or convex, but it's because that thumbstick is just a little too short. If it was a micron higher, it would not. You wouldn't have this problem of it falling off. But my left thumb tends to slide off of it, not my right thumb. But then again, my right thumb really doesn't do as much as my left.
We're all used to the Xbox. Because I know when I grip it, I notice that my left finger, index finger, comes closer to the center of the controller than my right one. And I think it's because that's what I was used to grabbing the 360 with.
Right, maybe.
And I still like that stick placement better. Like when I went back to play Call of Duty on Xbox, I was like, oh, I like this. I like this. Feels... And maybe it's just because, you spent 6 years playing with that controller mainly. It felt more natural.
The 360 controller?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that makes sense. I mean, it's like getting in your old car versus getting in your new car. Your new car seat's going to feel a little awkward, even if it's comfortable. It's going to feel a little not quite contoured to your ass like your old car was. So,
but
yeah.
Still, I cannot stress enough how much better that controller is than the PlayStation 3 controller.
Ugh, yeah. And the PlayStation 3 controller definitely set the bar super low.
Yeah, because I heard that you actually use the bumper buttons to shoot.
Yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
because the triggers were shit.
It's like, why bother? Now they got the trigger. My hand fits right in the trigger.
And the D-pad's really nice. The D-pad actually is positioned in such a way that I end up using the D-pad a lot.
I do too.
Yeah.
And it's responsive and it's nice.
Nice. And
the
touchpad I like a lot. Using an Assassin's Creed, it brings up your map. And you can also, move around the map with the touchpad. And it's great. I really actually don't use it too much for moving around the map. I actually use the thumbsticks. But having that extra button there that is very easy to get to is just bam, it's there.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
Now, do you know, I tried it and I had a hard time with it, but if you go to send a message, if you click the left, is it left stick or right stick?
Yes. The right stick.
You can use the. I don't know if you use the little pad to to type?
No, you use the gyroscope in the controller.
Yeah, I had a hard time.
Really?
I had a hard time with that. Yeah.
I loved that. That is how I type on the messages now.
Really?
Yes.
I had a hard time with it. It was floating around on me. I was like, yeah, I can't do this.
It does float around, and it takes a little getting used to because it's so sensitive, so you don't have to move the controller all that much. But once I started using it more and more and kind of getting good in it, I realized this is so much faster than having to
I've heard that.
Scroll through each button to get to the other one. It's great. I love that. That's a little tiny feature, but it makes things so much better. It's just so much easier to type. Yeah,
I heard a
I'm
lot of
gonna
people
have to
do
play
like
around
it.
with that.
I'm a fan.
Yeah. Speaking of a fan, boy, Assassin's Creed, Black Flag.
You know what?
Wow.
Like,
So good.
Granted, I'm only a couple hours in, and you're even further than me at this point, Edie.
Really?
This might be like the best Assassin's Creed, and like maybe the biggest step up for the series since Assassin's Creed 2.
Yeah, I did not play 3. I did not play Brotherhood, so I can't say definitively, but I can say that there is pretty much nothing wrong with that game. I don't want to say it's perfect, but boy, it's so hard to find something wrong, and if it is, it's just quibbling.
And like what I'm really excited about is that not only is the pirating stuff really fun, but the real world stuff is pretty cool too, because you can walk around there and like find sticky notes that kind of unlock weird messages that kind of hint at some weird things of the world. And
really?
I know you can hack people's computers too. So I know that there's a vast conspiracy theory there just waiting to be uncovered.
Really? I haven't even played around in the modern day. I mean, I know whenever you quit the simulation, you know, the pirating, you are brought back into the Abstergo offices?
Yeah, Abstergo Entertainment.
Abstergo Entertainment. Yeah, you're brought back into those offices, but I never actually have gotten... I've only been there in order to quit the game. I've never actually gotten up and walked around.
I've explored it when you first go there, and I walked around a bit and found these QR codes on sticky notes.
Yes, I saw those too.
And if you aim your little in-game tablet at it, like you don't have to actually take a picture of it with your smartphone. You have an in-game tablet that if you aim towards it, you can hit the triangle button to scan it.
Uh-huh.
And that brings up like these messages that mention those who came before. And kind of like these long rambling rants. It's like, what on earth is this guy talking about? And it mentions those who came before, and it's like, oh man, this feels vaguely sinister in a way that's really cool.
Really? Oh man, all of a sudden this whole game, I got a whole new part of this game I've totally missed.
I know, and that's what I think is so great about it, is that because if you walk around there, I've noticed there are also like level 2 areas that are locked, and I'm just thinking I want to get in there. And I know the very first game, kind of had that element of explore this environment a little more to get a sense of this conspiracy going on around you. But I think this one, like I haven't delved into it deeply, but it feels like there's a deep surface there waiting to be scratched.
Right.
And
Oh,
I'm
wow.
really excited about that. Like, I feel like this is the game that this is the best realization of what Assassin's Creed has wanted to do.
Yeah.
Like, that mix of modern day conspiracy with old school adventure.
Yeah. And boy, have they done their research on this. Boy, have they done
yeah.
their research on this. Wow. Did you notice that in the files that you've got, your Animus directory, whatever, the database, that if you go into it, there is a subcategory of stupid. How much you want to bet it's my mom? But there's a subcategory of shanties that are all the sea shanties with the lyrics to all the sea shanties that you are either you're your team came with, your pirates came with, or the ones that you've captured on the island. So it's like, wow, these guys actually looked up real sea shanties and then recorded them and then gave you the lyrics to them so you could sing along while you're playing the game, which I have done. If you ever want to see that, go to Twitch TV, because pretty much I broadcast all of my play.
Yeah, I'm loving the hell out of that game.
I had a hard time. I know I'm not an Assassin's Creed guy, but that first thing you do is you chase the guy, and I couldn't do it. I literally, it probably took me a half hour to 45 minutes to find the guy.
It's okay. Me too. Don't worry about it.
That's where he went. I didn't know how to get up there. I'm having a hard time holding the right trigger down while I climb all the time. It's like you just got to constantly hold that. It just feels weird.
Yeah, you do.
So I was jumping around. I died a few times. I stuck with it, and I finally got to the first part where you save somebody, and it was kind of cool hiding in the brush. I got to say that kind of brought me back in, because if it didn't have that part, I was getting ready to say, "Oh, this ain't for me." But I was like, okay, I'll hide in the brush, and then I'll do this, and then I sailed the ship, and I was terrible at sailing the ship, and that's about where I am. I didn't get too far in it, but it's like, yeah,
You will get better. You will get used to it, and it will get much more interesting when you get the wrist blades, because I think it was really kind of a not too much spoiler, but you don't start with your wrist blades, and the method in which you don't start with your wrist blades is hilarious. I don't say hilarious, but it's really funny.
I would say hilarious. It's great. I love it. It's like, yeah.
It's taking the lore of Assassin's Creed and saying, yeah, fuck you.
Yeah, which is so as an Assassin's Creed fan, I think one of the things that excites me most about this game is that sense of fuck it. Is that the end of Assassin's Creed 3, it ended Desmond's story in a way that was really anticlimactic and kind of dumb, kind of thematically great, but in terms of just how everything, the plot, the character, it was just dumb. It was kind of boring. And it's like, this is what we've been waiting for the whole time, is a magic button. This one feels like, okay, now that we've gotten that whole end of the world conspiracy thing out of the way, now that we no longer have to worry about Desmond saving the world, they feel free to explore much more interesting things, like this modern day conspiracy of hey, you're working for Abstergo Entertainment, and I thought Abstergo was the bad guy, but now they're making video games. What's going on here? They're free to explore different stories in the modern day, and free to explore that mythos and that kind of that meta-ness of, hey, you're actually playing a guy playing a game for this other company that's not real, but they're working with Ubisoft to make Assassin's Creed games. It's they're allowed to do that now.
Have you noticed that when you load up the game in the, that they always have the title screens of all of the publishers and developers that have been working on it, right? One of them is Abstergo Entertainment.
Yes.
Yes, I don't pick up on any of that, but
right, that comes along with the whole following the story.
Fanboy.
Yeah, it's very definitely fanboyism, and if you didn't know what it was, it wouldn't make an impact. Which is kind of the best way to put those kind of Easter eggs in, that they don't seem odd to you.
Yeah.
But if you know the Assassin's Creed, you're like, that's the first thing I thought. It's like Abstergo Entertainment. I'm like, oh, I guess they actually started to name the company that. And then when I got further into it, I'm like, oh, that's funny.
So anything else on the PS4 before we wrap up, and we'll probably take the news over to happy endings?
Yeah, we'll do news over there. There's a lot of PS4, Xbox One news. Huge amount of Xbox One news coming out. Of course, we're right on the cusp of the release of that console.
Yep. But so far, can we just safe to say that all of us are so far pretty happy with PS4?
Indeed.
I am exceptionally happy. I am so happy that I purchased the PS4. Couldn't be
right
happier.
Now I am too, because like I say, I didn't have a 3, and I've mentioned that before. So this is new. So I'm coming from Xbox, 10 years of Xbox. I didn't know what to expect. I know it's still growing. The list of games is not that big. But so far, this is what I was kind of hoping Xbox One would be.
Right.
Is the PS4. I don't know how else to say it. You know, it's coming from Xbox. I wanted that same kind of Xbox experience. I didn't want to drift too far from where I was comfortable, and I don't think I have with PlayStation 4.
Right.
It's new, it's fresh, it's a little different, doing things a little bit different, but it's would you guys agree it's pretty close to what we're used to and what we like?
It's pretty close to perfect. Pretty darn close.
Yep. And if Xbox One comes out and does all the same things or pretty close, then that'll be good too.
Yeah.
And what it'll come down for me is because at some point I will have to decide whether I'm going to get a second PlayStation for Mrs. Goalie or if we're going to buy 2 Xbox Ones so we can play together, because at some point the 360 will run its course and no one will be playing it and they won't make games for it, yada, yada, yada. But I think it really comes down to the games that are out. Mm-hmm. You know, I know she enjoys the Bejeweled and the Zoomer and stuff like that. I enjoy like the Puzzle Quest and Diner Dash. I enjoy all those games. So I guess it might come down to, you know, when those games start coming out, are there games that we can play together? Are there puzzle games? I mean, if PlayStation kind of just does the Assassin's Creed route and doesn't get as deep as Xbox did with the Xbox Live Arcade, you know, we might be going to the Xbox One. Mm-hmm. You know, as far as games we can play together.
They seem to have a pretty robust set of downloadable games coming.
Yeah.
That's what I'm wondering to see. So
although I did not see Binding of Isaac, and I didn't see Don't Starve, and those were supposed to be free on launch.
Really? I thought they were free, but not free on launch. I was only expecting Resogun and Contract.
I have in my notes, Binding of Isaac, Don't Starve coming to PSN free with launch. And that I pulled. That was a headline.
I think it might have been free with lunch.
Oh, maybe that's it.
That's true. You didn't get the PlayStation brand lunch.
That's the upsell. It's $400. It was an additional $400 at Best Buy.
Yeah.
You want that? Yeah. So, all right. So let's wrap.
I just want to say, in a funny way, the PlayStation 4 makes me want an Xbox One even more. Not because I hate anything about it, but because it's kind of new and fun and interesting, and I kind of want that.
Yeah,
I want that. It's like, I'm starting. I want something else new. I want that high again, of a new console.
The new console smell.
This is new. I want that again.
I might wait.
So I kind of want an Xbox One.
Yeah, I kind of want an Xbox One.
Play it. I just want to buy it.
I don't know. I'm still enjoying this right here. I want to bask in this a little bit more before I do.
I'm happy. I'm really happy with the PlayStation 4, but it does make me want the Xbox One because I see the huge difference between the PlayStation 3 and the PlayStation 4, and I'm really, especially now that the embargoes have been broken on the reviews for the Xbox One. Now that I'm seeing what's going to be out there and what it's going to do, I'm a little curious. I'm more than a little curious. And I also know that, well, we'll talk about it in news, but the fact that I figured I would be able to get a better sense of whether I'm going to like it or not and do a side-by-side comparison because I could watch Twitch and the streaming off of Xbox One. But now it's been announced that the streaming for Twitch is not going to happen until the beginning of the year. And after the beginning of the year.
Whoops.
Right. Whoops is right.
You know what is going to happen before the end of the year, though? The Room 2 on iPad. We'll put that in the news.
All right. Well, let's close this out. We can head over to the news, okay? You all right with that?
I'm good.
Right.
Nick, you got anything you want to add? You want to throw in at the end here like you always do?
Yeah, Resogun's great.
Resogun is great.
I don't like it, but I'm going to try it again.
Okay, you have been listening to GameHounds, episode 240, recorded on Wednesday, November 20th, 2013. Ways to get a hold of us. GameHounds.net is our website. You can go to our Facebook page at facebook.com/The GameHounds. You can go to our Twitch page. We've mentioned it a bunch of times. It's active. Trust me. I'm addicted to streaming and broadcasting on Twitch. It is Twitch TV /The GameHounds. If you'd like to give us any feedback, GameHounds at gmail.com. And we also do have a voice and text line. If you want to text us or send us a voicemail, that number is?
It is 304-300-9889.
And I think that's it. Did I get everything?
You get the Twitters in there?
Oh, the Twitter account is twitter.com/GameHounds. And Gamer Goalie. And also Gamer Edie, although I don't really hit that much because I'm now everything's committed to the GameHounds with the PlayStation 4. So, if you ever, like I said, there's a number of ways to get a hold of us. Ask us any questions or come visit us if you see us go live on Twitch. It's going to be either me or Goalie or hopefully Nick one of these days. It's going to be awesome.
Just to throw this out there, are you guys what are you guys' names now on the PlayStation? Because I'm on Xbox, I'm Holy Goalie, but on PSN, I'm now Gamer Goalie.
You're Gamer Goalie. I am Gamer Edie, GamerEdie, all one word. And Nick, you are?
Evil Alsop with 0 instead of I. No, with the O.
See, that is so stupid.
Yes.
I know.
Explain
you know
it.
what?
You gotta
I'm not going to argue with you. I'm not going to argue with you. That is stupid. That is the stupidest name I've ever come up with.
So it's EV0L space.
EVOL.
Huh?
EVOL.
EVOL space AL.
No space.
Oh.
Is there space?
Anyway.
I'm Gamer Goalie with a
Whatever.
J.
Why don't you just look me up and then you can see who my friends are.
Exactly. When will
Instead of an O, it's a 0. Instead of an I, it's a 1.
When will they let you change your username?
I know. They have to. Nick, I saw that online.
Anyway, we gotta go. We're running out of music, guys. Talk to you guys later. Bye.